Alrighty, so it's that time of the year again. It's Heineken Rivalry Week. And normally in Heineken Rivalry Week, we usually see the biggest rivalry in MLS. And that, of course, is going to be the case in terms of this week and also in terms of the next match week that is going to happening. But first, we're going to talk about the Friday action to kick off Heineken Rivalry Week, which we're going to get 3 games that's going to be happening on Friday. Although, if you look at the 3 games that happen in terms of the action to kick off Heineken Rivalry Week, there really is only one that is considered a true rivalry. And that, of course, is none other than El Trafico between LAFC versus the LA Galaxy, which we'll get to that in just a bit. But the first one we're going to talk about, at least the league is trying to make this a rivalry, is the Philadelphia Union versus DC United. And this game is actually going to be on national television alongside with El Trafico, which is kind of makes me wonder, why is this one on national television and why not the DC United versus New York Red Bulls match? Because, I know when the Union play against DC United, this game tends to be on national television a lot too, even though it's not kind of a rivalry. But, I feel like if they were going to kick off Heineken Rivalry Week, a big way to do it is such a historic rivalry that is DC United versus the New York Red Bulls. But nevertheless, in terms of this match, we'll start at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 p.m. Pacific, but the actual kickoff is 7:45 p.m. local time, as this game is the first of 2 games that's going to be on ESPN. The Union have a record of 7-9-2, while DC United have a record of 5-2-9. The Union obviously is the draw king of MLS this season, or you would like to say they're kind of like the Nashville SC of this season. They love to draw games. They don't lose a lot of games, but they also don't win a lot of games. Whereas for DC United, they also don't win a lot of games this season and are sitting near the bottom of the Eastern Conference. But the good news is, at least they got themselves out of that bottom spot after getting a crazy win against Orlando City on the 4th of July when they won 5-3. All-time meaning, it's a 17-6-11 lead for the Union over DC United. And in terms of the last 5 head-to-head meetings, the last time both of these teams faced off against each other was DC winning 3-1 against the Union, though the Union did win 2-1 against DC, and then they won 1-0 on the road against DC United. Then it was a 2-2 draw between both of these teams, and then the Union, of course, winning 4-1 against DC United. And it's safe to say that the Union does have the upper hand in terms of the last 5 head-to-head matchup. And really, when you look at these last couple of years, the Union has really dominated this series. But as I said, this is a team that is like the Nashville SC of this season. They always tend to struggle in terms of getting all 3 points at home, and they're just drawing way too many points and dropping way too many points at home because of the draw, and that they're looking to try and avoid that against one of the worst team in the Eastern Conference. And though if you're DC, after that big victory against Orlando, let's see if that can maybe get themselves on track, because like I said before, in the East right now it is wide open. Like there is not a lot of gap between the team that is near the bottom of the Eastern Conference to the team that is above the red line. So if DC can get themselves in a good form, they can definitely find themselves back in the playoff race, even if they're second from bottom of the Eastern Conference. But now moving on, in terms of the next match, is LAFC versus the LA Galaxy, also known as El Trafico, also known as the game that the media said that this is the best rivalry in MLS, as this game will start at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, but the actual kickoff is 7:08 p.m. local time, as this is also on ESPN. All-time meeting, this is I believe the 16th El Trafico, is that right? Yeah, they meet 15 times before. This is the 16th El Trafico, and the Galaxy obviously have the upper hand, 7-5-3 over LAFC. Coming into this game, LAFC have an 11-3-4 record, while the Galaxy have an 8-3-6 record. The Galaxy actually come off of a win on the 4th of July weekend game, while LAFC actually came off of a loss against the Vancouver Whitecaps in the 4th of July game. And in terms of the last 5 head-to-head matchup, the Galaxy, of course, won 3-1 against LAFC. I believe that was in the U.S. Open Cup. Yeah, that was in the U.S. Open Cup. As we remember, that, of course, was the first ever El Trafico in the U.S. Open Cup. And while it wasn't as crazy as we've seen some of the El Trafico game, it was pretty much the same result where the Galaxy were able to pretty much have their superiority over their intercity rival. And then before that, they also got a 2-1 win against LAFC. Then it was a 1-1 draw between both of these teams. Then it was a 3-3 draw between both of these teams. And then the Galaxy won 2-1 against LAFC. And again, besides that 3-3 draw between both of these teams, things have started to calm down in terms of El Trafico. And I think the reason why maybe the media kind of hyped this a lot is because of the fact that there's these crazy kind of scoreline. And not to mention, we get to see Vela versus Chicharito for the second time. And also, could this be the game where we're going to see the debut of both Gareth Bale and Giorgio Chiellini? And if that, of course, is the case, man, that just adds in even more of a spicy action between both of these teams. But nevertheless, I'm interested to see how this game is going to turn out. And again, you know, for those of you that are hoping this is going to be like a game that where there's going to be craziness, well, you know, at least from what we've seen in the last couple of matchup, maybe that's not going to be the case because of the fact that the last couple of matches, the scoreline hasn't been as high score as we've seen in other El Trafico, but you never know. It is El Trafico. Things could be crazy, and I won't be surprised if things can go off the rail starting from minute 1. But now moving on in the next match, and a game that is going to be overshadowed because of El Trafico, but it's a game that I will definitely pay attention to a lot because it involved one of my team, that is Minnesota United taking on the Vancouver Whitecaps, which will start at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. Pacific, but the actual kickoff is 7:38 p.m. local time, so obviously I'm not happy about the fact they have to stay up very, very late. Well, you know, it's very late for people on the East Coast and not so late in the West Coast, but consider I do now have to work at 4:30 in the morning in my shift. Yeah, it feels like I'm now becoming an East Coast person where this is kind of gonna be tough for me to just have to stay awake late in the evening to watch my team play. But coming into this game, both of these teams have a 7-3-8 record, and I said that this game kind of overshadowed the El Trafico matchup. But what's interesting about this matchup is that this is kind of a playoff 6-pointer for both of these teams. I mean, I know we're still a long way before the playoffs begin. We just hit the halfway point of the season, but when you look at both of these teams with the same record, and both of these teams are the first two teams out of the playoffs as the playoffs would have started today, you can definitely sense that there is that playoff 6-pointer kind of vibe between both of these teams. And in terms of the all-time meeting, it's actually dead even at 3 wins, 3 draw, and 3 losses apiece for both of these teams. And the last 5 head-to-head matchup, the Whitecaps did win 2-1 against Minnesota before it was a 2-2 draw between both of these teams, a 1-0 win for the Loons against the Whitecaps, a 0-0 draw between both these teams, and then the Loons actually won 3-2 against the Vancouver Whitecaps before. But if there's one thing we know about the Vancouver Whitecaps this season, is that they're very good at home. Like, this BC place is now one of, if not the toughest place to get road points. And I know Minnesota has been doing much better this season on the road, and especially, you know, I mentioned before, if they just didn't blow the 1-0 lead and didn't just go full row heave mode in those games against Miami and against New England, I believe they would have had a positive record in terms of their road form, and that's something that I didn't think it was possible, knowing this is one of the teams that doesn't do well on the road ever since they came into the league. But yeah, you know, I'm confident that they can maybe pull off something in this one. But like I said, the Whitecaps, there's just something about them playing at home. They're very comfortable with it. They know how to play well at home, and that it's not going to be easy for this Minnesota team that is starting to kind of figure things out. And let's see if they can maybe get themselves all 3 points, and also not go row heave mode on the road like I've seen them done so many times this season. But either way, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure you like, smash the subscribe button. Let me know in the comments below what do you think of these 3 games that's going to happen. And again, there's going to be more games that's going to be happening in match week, I believe now number 19, but I'm going to call it Heineken Rivalry week because, you know, from this match week, and then the next one is pretty much Heineken Rivalry week in MLS. But yeah, let me know in the comments below what do you think of these games. And that, again, there's going to be 11 games that's going to be happening on Saturday. There's actually no games that going to happen on Sunday, which is kind of weird, the fact that we won't have any Sunday game this week. But, you know, tomorrow I will be doing the preview of those 11 games, and maybe even do the review of these 3 games tomorrow too, because I believe the first game that's going to be happening on Saturday isn't going to start until something like 4:30, something like that. So maybe I will have time to do the review and the preview of those 11 games. Well, I'm going to do the preview tomorrow on Friday, and then Saturday I'll do the review of the Friday game. But until then, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure you guys like, smash the subscribe button, and yeah, I of course will see you guys next time.